Cancer came into my life on a seemingly normal January 16th, 2023. And yet, through this experience, I realized the very thing we fear the most can also become the catalyst for transformation, altering the course of our existence in a way that is exactly what we need. Cancer taught me that in my darkest moments, there was a lesson I needed to learn. And today, I'm going to share with you 7 lessons I learned from battling cancer that I carry with me every day of my life. Lesson 1. It's a scary thing to feel your body slowly killing you. My parents were states away, and I just wanted to be a normal college student. But suddenly I was confronted with all of these questions of an uncertain future, my fertility, my mortality, and I wanted to arm myself with all the answers I could. So I took on cancer like it was a full-time job. I studied everything I could about dysgerminoma. I reached out to other cancer patients on social media, and I signed up for everything. And at a big hospital like Yale New Haven, that's a lot. I went to meditations between classes, massages, spoke with a nutritionist, and became pen pals with other young adults fighting cancer. And then my mailbox became a constant source of joy. Cancer taught me that with the right resources, we can overcome anything. So seek out that support and use it. Lesson 2. Cancer gave me a lot more free time than I was used to. So I decided within a few days of my diagnosis that I was going to share my journey publicly on social media. And there were a lot of benefits to this. I didn't feel the need to explain myself as much. Everyone just knew what I was going through. But I also received messages from people in all different areas of my life, some that I hadn't spoken to in years. I traded cramming in more work to saying yes to lunch with old friends. And somehow, even with cancer, my life got better. Cancer taught me that there is a whole lot more people that love you than you really know, and we should spend more time reconnecting with each other. Lesson 3. Shortly after my first round of chemo, my hair started coming out fast, and I had this sick obsession with pulling it out. So my friends and I decided that for my last days of having hair, we would dye it pink. We got a box of cheap dye, went into the dorm room bathroom, and as we washed it out, it all just sort of fell out in this matted up clump. And my roommate had to cut out what was left of it on our couch. This was one of the hardest days for me. But the memory of dyeing my hair pink with my best friends, dancing to our favorite songs in the bathroom, spilling dye on our t-shirts, it was the best murder of my favorite physical trait. Its death was pink and lovely and mine. I killed my hair on my own terms. Cancer taught me that I don't have to be a victim. Lesson 4. Whenever I wore my wig, or before I lost my hair, I looked just like anyone else on the outside. But the crazy part is, while I was going through treatment, I was also interviewing for an internship. I did the interview in a wig, and I accepted the job in the chemo chair. It felt strange to conceal this part of myself that I was so public about. But every day, I went to my job in my wig, until one day, about halfway through the summer, my little baby hairs started coming in, and I built up the confidence to take the wig off. The first day, I went into work without my wig. Everyone just thought that I shaved my head. They were like, "Oh, the new intern, she's so edgy." I got a lot of compliments, I think because it was so shocking, but it was a powerful reminder that I could go back into the space of people I just met, show myself as I really am, and be loved for that. Cancer taught me that we have no idea what people are going through just by looking at them. And now, out of this has blossomed something that I love the most about myself right now, my chemo curls. Lesson 5. Gynecological cancers are often called the silent killers because of how infrequently they're diagnosed in a timely manner. I only had one symptom: numbness in my hands and feet. And before I was correctly diagnosed with cancer, I was told it's just dehydration. It's an unspecified autoimmune response. It's an allergic reaction. Maybe it's multiple sclerosis. It's due to my mother and I's diligence pushing these doctors for answers that we found my cancer so early. As you see here, 55% of ovarian cancers have already metastasized by diagnosis. But if found in an early stage, like mine, the survival rate's 92%. My story should be the norm, not the exception. And my cancer was not silent at all. My body was speaking to me. I just had to listen. Cancer taught me that nobody knows your body better than you. So if doctors dismiss your concerns, keep pushing and find the answer. Shortly after we found my tumor, not even removed it from my body, the numbness in my hands and feet just went away. Lesson 6. I realized that I had been living in a state of chronic stress and anxiety about school and my future career, so much so that I had entirely forgotten what life was all about. I was completely depressed in my tiny basement dorm room, and I used to cry every time I left home because I hated coming back. I just didn't feel like I belonged here at Yale. But then, being here at Yale, 2 blocks away from the best doctor in ovarian cancer and a college dean that made a call for me to get me in to see her within a couple days of my diagnosis, that was a blessing. Cancer taught me that I am exactly where I'm meant to be. In lesson 7, I'm not that lonely at all. I was just too focused on what I was leaving behind to see what's been right in front of me all along. The greatest friends I've ever had, my family, my dance team. And now I am thankful for the freezing cold snow and the long walk to Smilo Hospital and the late night rehearsals and the stress and the homework, because that's the proof that I'm still here. Cancer taught me that sometimes it takes almost dying to know how badly you want to live. I keep a little note in my phone of all the moments that I want to remember. Because when I think about what makes life worth living, it's not the promise of some future career or achievement. It's all the things that bring me joy right now. It's the way the eclipse made these beautiful crescent moon shadows on the floor of the library. It's the way that I was walking past an intersection the other day and 2 cars honked and they harmonized. It's this silly little card game that my friends and I play in the courtyard, and we ask anyone who walks by to play it with us. It's the privilege of going to college. I'm now grappling with a new label, cancer survivor. I'm trying to understand what this means for me. How am I so lucky to call myself a survivor? How am I so lucky to get to be telling you my story here today? I don't have all the answers about what my purpose is, but I do know this. This was supposed to happen to me. And you might not know what your purpose is, but your story and your journey is beautiful and important, and it's forming who you are. And you are exactly where you're meant to be. Thank you.